Hi, this is Richardhar. Welcome to my course, Applying Thoughts, Problem Solving and Decision Making. Thank you for joining me. So let's dive into the first module of the course. I'm going to provide you with an overview of the course and that we're going to cover, and also start introducing the concepts. So imagine another day, another problem, another decisions to make. Most managers, supervisors and executives need to assess problems and make decisions frequently. And while some of these problems are routine, others are very complex, difficult and unclear. So in this course, we will be talking about these complex and complicated problems and how can managers use the tools that we'll cover in this course in solving these problems and applying them in real life scenarios. So a little bit about me. I'm a certified master trainer and life coach with 13 plus years of international experience in training and development. I have an extensive experience in the domain of leadership, communication and behavioral training, topics like problem solving and decision making, negotiation skills, and a lot many others. As a trainer and a coach, I work with organizations, teams, and people to improve their communication, their performance, their problem solving abilities, a lot of managerial skills within their existing environments. This course is based on my years of experience of helping hundreds of people and managers improving their problem solving and decision making skills. I'm also a consultant and trainer with various organizations and bring my experience from these organizations and scenarios to share with you during the course of this training to make it more enriching and useful. So let's start with certain course objectives. So this entire course has been designed around 3 core objectives. At the end of this course, the participants should be able to solve real-life business problems using creative problem-solving model. In fact, there is an exercise where you will actually use a real-life scenario to apply these models. Also, to apply practical tools for problem definition and investigation. And to engage others, employees, stakeholders, team members in the process as and when appropriate. So I focus this course to try and develop your management competencies of problem solving and decision making. And while the competencies actually have to be demonstrated in the workplace, I've designed the course so that you can get a real feel by applying these competencies in the various case studies and exercises that we will have be going through them. So this entire course is comprised of 3 main components. The first one is the knowledge of tools and techniques, with quizzes at the end of each module so that you can try out what all you have understood, and wherever you feel a revision is required, you can go back and review the modules. I provided reflective and analytical exercises at the end of every module, which will further help in application of all the models and concepts that we will understand and learn throughout the course of the modules. I provided a case study which we're going to work on throughout this course, and you will get to see applying this at each stage to see how it works. In addition to this, there will be an assignment for submission at the end of this course, where you will choose a real life scenario and apply these techniques and submit a report in a specific format which will be shared with you at the end of this course. Now let's go through some guidelines for success. These are certain pointers that will help you complete the course in time. Schedule an uninterrupted time every day, whether it be 20 minutes or 30 minutes, for the study of these modules, and to complete the exercises and quizzes given along with each module. For some duration of the time, keep your phones, your other gadgets, everything on silent and away. The course, in order for you to learn and apply things effectively, will require your total attention. Have paper, pens, pencils for exercises ready with you so that you can pause the video at any point in time and complete the exercise and then continue with your study of the module again. Wherever possible, discuss the exercises and the topics with other trainees in the group. This will help you get a different perspective and also help you understand how different people look at problems and situations from a very different point of view. For feedback and questions, we will have a webinar on 25th of June where you can discuss and ask all your questions to me, and we will review the entire course with major outlines. Now let's go through session-wise division of what we will cover in every module. In session 1, which is the current module, as I said before, there will be an introduction of the course, an overview of the course, and introduction of the basic concepts that we will be using throughout, including problem solving and decision making. In session 2, we will familiarize ourselves with a problem solving or problem identification framework called Kinefin. This framework will help us understand what are the different kinds of problems that exist and how the approach to solve each problem differs based on what category it falls in. In the third session, we will understand and study about the creativity and its principles, and I'll introduce the 4-step creative problem solving model, which we'll be using in this course to learn problem solving and decision making. The goal is to make problem solving a very innovative process and help you apply creativity and creative ideas into real life daily business solution problem solving. Session 4. In this, we will learn how to define a problem and how to make sure that our focus is absolutely clear and anyone who listens to the problem statement is able to understand exactly what is the situation that you're trying to solve here. Something that's going to really help you when you will be communicating your problem to others. So this is the module where we learn how to design a problem statement. In session 5, we will discuss analyzing the problem. We will do root cause analysis. There will be exercises where you will apply these 2 root cause analysis tools of 5i and fishbone. We will also understand the interdependency of cause and effect, and there will be a case study in which you will be applying these root cause analysis tools. For session 6 is when we reach the second stage of our creative problem solving model, where we will be doing generating solutions or divergent thinking. So you'll understand what is divergent thinking and also how to use brainstorm and Osborne checklist to create more ideas which are creative, new, at the same time feasible and applicable. In session 7, we will cover the third step of creative problem solving model, that is convergent thinking. We will understand what is convergent thinking, how is it different from divergent thinking, and we will also learn and practice the 2 tools of convergent thinking. This is evaluation matrix and point. Now in this module, we will also understand how, after having generated multiple solutions, a lot of creative ideas, how can we use pre-designed and pre-decided decision-making criteria and use tools like evaluation matrix and point to come down to 1 or 2 solutions which are most feasible and relevant to our problem or our real life scenario. In the 8th session, we will understand how to design an action plan. So no matter how wonderfully well you have planned or come up with solutions, but it's the execution which is the really important test of any idea or any successful problem solving. So we'll understand what are the things to be kept in mind, how to design an effective action plan. We will also discuss about how to add review system to your implementation plan. In this module, we will also understand and go through the 4-step format to give a persuasive presentation to stakeholders. It is not enough to identify a problem and use creative problem solving method to apply it, but it's equally important to convince others about your problem so that they are on board and at the same time have an ability to communicate successfully the solution that you're offering and why is that relevant. And that is the format that this 4-step presentation helps you learn. The 9th session will be a summary and review session where everything that we have done in the previous 8 modules will be put together. This module will also have a self-evaluation form which will be based on the 3 core objectives of this course, and there will be certain scenarios on which you will have to grade yourself. Now this self-evaluation will be a reflection platform for you as well to understand what are the domains and areas that have been your best takeaway, what are the domains and areas where you still see a need for further development. The last and the 10th session will happen on 25th of June in the form of a 2-hour webinar. As I've discussed earlier, this will be a platform where you can discuss all your questions and queries, and we will review the certain key points of the entire training module. So let's move on to our concepts that we're going to be covering in this module. Now we are talking about problem solving and decision making. So let's start with the basics. What do you understand by a problem? How do you define a problem? Take a few seconds and think about it, and then I'll show you what I understand from a problem. A problem is a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. Primarily, it is you trying to achieve a certain goal or a vision, and anything that stops you from achieving that goal or vision, anything that becomes an obstacle or is harmful and needs to be resolved so that you can achieve your goal or vision, is a problem. So having understood what a problem means, let's get an understanding of what do we mean when we say problem solving. Now problem solving is a method or a set of methods that leads to solving the problem or overcoming the challenge. Sounds very simple, doesn't it? Well, problem solving is more complicated, as we will understand throughout the course as we'll go through it, than it sounds. It's first identifying the right obstacle and problem, and then using innovative methods to resolve that so that you can reach your desired goal and achieve your vision within the existing resources and the scenario, is the real challenge of problem solving. And that is what this entire training module is focused on helping you achieve. So now let's understand what is decision making. This is something that we all do on a regular basis. In fact, we all make hundreds of decisions every hour, whether it's as small as which color shirt to wear, or as big as whether to go through an operating procedure 1 or operating procedure 2. So whether it can be that of a critical scenario, whether it can be a daily routine decision, decision making is primarily, which is a judgment. It is a best choice between almost right and probably wrong. It is what involves risk taking. And decision making is something where we need to understand it is different than problem solving. And how is it different than problem solving? Let me take you through that. So problem solving is any difference between an actual situation and a desired situation, as we discussed a while back. It is focused on the past, something that has happened and you realized it's not the kind of scenario you would have wanted it to be. Then you go on to identify exactly what happened in the between so that the result didn't match up to your expectations. So problem identification, which is a very important part of problem solving, is usually dealing with past. A logical step-by-step process that leads one towards thinking and making a successful decision. Now this is what is extremely critical that we need to understand. Decision making is a part of the problem solving process. It is the act of making a choice between 2 or more options. Having identified the problem, having identified the root cause of the problem, we go on to identify and brainstorm what are the multiple ways this problem can be resolved. And that is where decision making comes in. Once we have our options in front of us, that's when the importance of decision making, that's why decision making is so important, because it helps us choose a particular option that we are going to use to resolve this problem or to explore this opportunity. It is focused on the future and process of analyzing critical data to determine the best action. While problem solving includes a lot of lateral thinking and innovative and creative thinking, decision making is more analytical. This is where we are using tools, techniques and data and analytical thinking to come to a specific solution which resolves our problem and helps us either achieve the goal or to overcome the challenge. So let's move on to our first exercise. For each category that you looked in the previous slide of decision types, make a list of specific decisions that managers, that is you, need to take on daily basis. Keep this list for a future exercise. All you need to do is just think about it, take some time, don't hurry through this, and observe around you and think about what are the average types of decisions that you take on daily basis and put them under different categories discussed in the previous slide. For exercise 2, there is a brief article titled 3 Barriers to Effective Problem Solving, which is given in a module file called Module-Wise Exercises. Please go through this article, and once you have read this article and understood what are the various barriers that stop people and managers from solving problems effectively, list some examples where you have witnessed these barriers. If possible, discuss them with your friends and partners to see what are the other observations that they may have to share. The third exercise involves watching a video of TED Talk called Are We in Control of Our Decisions? The link to this video is given in your document titled the Module-Wise Exercises. You will receive this document along with your handbook for this particular course. While you're watching this video, consider the following questions. What factors may influence our decisions in the workplace? How certain can we be that we are making decisions that are objective and based on reality? Why do managers need to make better decisions? Once you've finished watching this video, take substantial time to sit down and answer these questions. Once you are done, if possible, discuss them with the other participants in the course. It will help you realize how people have a different understanding of the processes and the problems, and how others may differ in their approach to any issue or a problem. So once you have done all the exercises, I recommend you to do the quiz given at the end of each module. The link to this quiz is given in the description of this video. And if you need to review some sections, go back to this video and focus on them until you are really comfortable and to move to the next section. So hopefully when you do these exercises in this quiz, you will realize that why we need these processes to make decisions and solve problems. Decision making and problem solving is sometimes more complex and complicated than we think, especially in workplaces where you have lots of interdependencies and changing and dynamic situations.